Leia Organa, the princess who fought empires. Before she was a general, before she was a princess, Leia Organa was a spark in the darkness, born into conflict, shaped by rebellion, and destined to fight for hope in a galaxy ruled by tyranny. Leia was born in secret. Her true parents were Padme Amidala, the former queen and senator of Naboo, and Anakin Skywalker, the Jedi Knight who would fall to the dark side and become Darth Vader. Her birth came at the climax of a galactic civil war. Padme died in childbirth, and to protect the twins from the Emperor, Yoda, Bail Organa, and Obi-Wan Kenobi separated the newborns. Luke was sent to Tatooine with Anakin's stepfamily. Leia was adopted by Senator Bail Organa and Queen Breha of Alderaan, a peaceful and democratic world. From that day, she was known not as a Skywalker, but as Leia Organa, royal daughter of Alderaan. Growing up in the royal household, Leia was taught diplomacy, justice, and strength. Bail and Breha were loving but strict, raising her to think critically and speak fearlessly. She was intelligent and headstrong even as a child, often challenging tradition and seeking out causes that helped others. By her teenage years, Leia was already following in her adoptive father's footsteps, dabbling in politics, charity, and even clandestine support for resistance cells working against the Empire. Leia's entry into the Galactic Senate was unprecedented. At just 19, she was one of the youngest senators in history, poised, articulate, and fearless. But beneath her senatorial duties, Leia had already become a spy for the Rebel Alliance, smuggling messages, transporting data, and using her diplomatic immunity to avoid suspicion. She wasn't just a symbol. She was already on the front lines of the war. That all changed when she intercepted the Death Star plans. On a secret mission to deliver them to Alderaan, her ship was attacked by Darth Vader, her biological father, though neither of them knew the truth yet. Before being captured, Leia hid the plans inside R2-D2, who would soon encounter Luke Skywalker on Tatooine. Tortured and interrogated, Leia held firm, resisting Vader's mind probes and lies. Then came the most devastating moment of her life. As a demonstration of the Death Star's power, Grand Moff Tarkin ordered the destruction of Alderaan, killing Breha, Bail, and billions of innocent people. Leia watched as her home, her people, and everything she had ever known were obliterated in an instant. She grieved, but did not break. Rescued by Luke, Han Solo, Chewbacca, and the droids, Leia quickly became the backbone of the Rebel Alliance. While Han was impulsive and Luke was still finding his place, Leia remained focused and strategic. She helped plan the attack on the Death Star, supported key missions, and rose quickly as a field commander and tactician. Over time, her relationship with Han Solo evolved. What began as friction turned into flirtation and eventually deep affection. But even in love, Leia remained committed to the rebellion. On Hoth, she led evacuation efforts under pressure. On Cloud City, she watched Han get taken by Boba Fett and narrowly escaped Vader once more. In time, the truth unraveled. After Luke confronted Vader and learned of his parentage, he revealed to Leia that she too was a Skywalker, Vader's daughter and his twin sister. The revelation was overwhelming. Leia had always believed her strength came from conviction and purpose. Now she discovered the Force was in her blood. Darkness, legacy, power. It all came rushing in. But unlike her father, Leia stayed grounded in who she was. She fought at Endor, led the assault that allowed Luke to face Vader, and helped bring down the shield generator that ultimately destroyed the second Death Star. In the aftermath, she mourned Vader, not as a tyrant, but as the man he once was. She had never known Anakin Skywalker, but she knew now that the Skywalker legacy could be redeemed. After the fall of the Empire, Leia did not rest. She served in the New Republic, but politics disappointed her. Corruption returned, bureaucracy slowed progress, and many dismissed the signs of a growing new threat, the First Order. When no one else would act, Leia broke from the system and founded the Resistance, echoing the fight of her youth. Her personal life was full of heartbreak. Her marriage to Han eventually collapsed under the weight of grief, particularly over their son Ben Solo, who had turned to the dark side and become Kylo Ren. Leia blamed herself. She had passed down the blood of Anakin, and Ben had inherited both power and darkness. But even in tragedy, Leia never stopped fighting. Though she trained briefly with Luke and even constructed her own lightsaber, Leia ultimately chose not to become a Jedi. She foresaw the death of her son if she pursued that path. Instead, she embraced a different kind of strength: quiet leadership, hope through action, and spiritual guidance. She became a general, a mother, and a mentor. In her final moments, Leia used the last of her life energy to reach her son through the Force. With a single word, Ben, she awakened the humanity buried beneath Kylo Ren's mask. Her sacrifice turned the tide of the war. Though she died, her spirit lived on in the Resistance, in the Jedi legacy, and in the lives of those she inspired. Leia Organa was more than a princess, more than a general, more than a Force-sensitive warrior. She was a symbol of hope, strength, and perseverance in a galaxy that tried to extinguish both. From the ashes of Alderaan to the command of starfleets, her story was one of resilience and rebellion. She was born into war, forged by loss, and driven by purpose. Leia didn't just carry the Skywalker name, she transcended it. She was the leader the galaxy needed, and the legacy it will never forget.